Dial-up internet. When most of us think of old school internet, there's one specific noise that comes to mind first.
What is good, y'all? YD here, back with another video, and today we're watching a Watchmojo video, 20 things that kids today will never get to experience. But without further ado, let's go ahead and get into it.
Hey, Sarah.
Whoa, Ozzy, you reek.
You knew I reek. I've been playing so many games with my Games Freedom Pass, I have had zero time to shower.
Welcome to Watchmojo, and today we'll be counting down our picks for those core childhood experiences that may not ever return for Generation Alpha. Passing notes in class. There's been a lot of societal discussion concerning the efficacy of banning cell phones in schools. Perhaps it'll be during a full implementation of such a rule, whereby the old habit of passing notes might return to the everyday classroom. This was how many Gen Xers and prior generations communicated with their friends out of sight from authority figures and teachers.
Michael? Excuse me, what's that in your hand? Bring that note up to me.
Communication these days is obviously so much simpler and immediate, yet can also occasionally lack the sort of creativity it took to jot down the perfect note, one that could discuss everything from after-school plans to a latest crush.
So yeah, like they said, back then, when I was in school, we passed notes. You know what I'm saying? We had phones, but the note passing was the bigger thing because most of us didn't have phones. And the best way you can get a message across is to pass it. You know, them old school, would you date me? Would you go out with me? Yes or no, type of things. And hoping they get the message and hoping they accept it, That was the thing back then.
Do you want me to spell check it? Just pass it to Holly. To Holly.
Recording the radio. It's been the subject of classic rock songs like Do You Remember Rock and Roll Radio from Ramones and Radio Gaga by Queen. Tunes that romanticize how older kids used to stay up past their bedtime to record their favorite songs off the radio. This habit wasn't solely the subject of top 40 pop radio hits either, since many older fans of underground music might recall recording their favorite episodes of a weekly cult radio show that played obscure punk, alternative, or heavy metal. Home recording technology, like blank audio cassettes, made it fun and convenient to be creative at home with all of radio's varied content.
So yeah, they're right. We used to record the radio. I know it's probably showing my age at this point, but like before the MP3s was a thing, we used to record on cassette tapes. I used to even have a recorder, like a tape recorder, to record what I hear on TV and what I hear on the radio, so I can play it back and listen to it all again. May sound like I'm broke at this point talking about it like that, but that's just how it was, And then my uncle, RP to him, when we was real young kids, I want to say elementary, he used to record our voices on cassette tape. We used to have fun just doing that, just saying crazy stuff, being funny, trying to rap, that was the thing.
Fun, at least, for generations that didn't have Apple Music or Spotify at their collective fingertips. Calling collect.
It's time to go out there alone and save the people you call up to 44% by dialing 1-800-COLLECT.
Picture it. You've thoroughly enjoyed a Saturday afternoon at the mall with your best friend, but now it's time to call a parent for a ride. But wait, there are no cell phones yet, and you spent your last quarter at the arcade. What do? Simple, just call collect. The availability of payphones and phone booths back in the day made it easy for even younger kids to get in contact with their parents. Dialing a number like 1-800-COLLECT, which is still operational, believe it or not, could direct the caller to record a voice message which would then be delivered to a home landline. The recipient could then accept the telephone charges and voila, instant phone call.
Make sure you dial 1-800.
I could say I only used the payphone when I was younger, probably a handful of times that I can remember. Like, I never really used it like I really needed it, because we had house phones, and then after a while I got a cell phone. So yeah, on that. And then also, I think the only thing that uses collect calls now that I can think of is calling from jail. They charge you for that, and you got to pay for that to talk to them, which is, how they make most of their money in there. But let's get back to it.
Collect, not zero.
Oh yeah, save a big penny.
Try a buck or two, Bitterman.
How many times we gotta tell you?
Okay, I'll dial 1-800-COLLECT.
TV ends. Hey, have you ever watched the opening to Tobe Hooper's Poltergeist and wondered what the heck was going on with Craig T. Nelson's television set? Terrestrial cable used to actually go off the air at a certain time, with most channels playing something like we see during that scene, a national anthem accompanied by some nice nature scenery, an announcer ending that channel's broadcast day, and then usually either a station ID or some static.
Now, I'm not this old, but my mom used to tell me about the TV going off when she was young. So that's the only way I kind of know about the TV turning off. But other than that, I didn't really experience it. My mom and them did. It's more around her era and my grandparents' era. But let's get back into it.
Television programming would resume the following morning, so we hope that you got something to entertain yourselves with while you wait that out. Smoking everywhere. Hey, whoever said that every lost childhood experience needed to be pleasant? Well, you might be nostalgic for the smoking section at your local Applebee's if you were one of the millions of naughty kids who experimented with nicotine against the Surgeon General's warning back in the day.
Didn't you read this? Cancer, heart disease, emphysema.
Well, I thought those were the ingredients.
For others, that...
So I'm from the West Coast, and living in the West Coast, I didn't really experience the smoking in restaurants and stuff like that until I moved to the Midwest. And that's when they had smoking or non-smoking in restaurants. And it was kind of a crazy experience to experience. It's like, smoking while you're eating is crazy, smelling it while you're eating. And then they had the section, like, you couldn't smell the smoke in the non-smoking section, because smoking, that cigarette stuff is really strong and clings to surfaces in your clothes. But let's get back to it.
Constant cloud of hanging smoke present within every building and office might not retain the same sort of vibes. Tobacco marketing and advertising helped wean generations of people off the stuff, with a lot of photographic evidence showing just how omnipresent smoking was within our lives.
I know.
Did you smoke when you were pregnant with me?
It was sexy, and there's nothing on the package that said don't.
A similarly unhealthy culture of vaping may have replaced a lit cigarette, unless you're Dave Chappelle, but many of us can still smell the stuff in our clothes. Irresponsible playground construction. We're willing to bet that every parent has remarked at least once about the comparative safety of modern playgrounds. Areas with soft, spongy ground and slides that, aren't made of freaking metal. This was sadly not so for many kids who grew up back in the 70s, 80s, 90s, and perhaps even into the early aughts. Yes, so many of us still live with the scars, emotional and perhaps even physical.
Growing up in the 90s and early 2000s, I believe the more dangerous your playground was, the more fun it was as a kid. Of course, parents, they're going to be protective, but that's parents. But as a kid, the more dangerous it was, the more stuff we can climb and death-defying stunts we can do, it was fun. And them hot slides with the metal on them, boy, if you had shorts on, you can hear your skin sliding across the metal, burning your skin. And I can't even count how many times I done got messed up, like hit my head, cut myself, or some type of injury on the playground, but still went back the next day.
From burning the heck out of ourselves while attempting to traverse a metal slide during a hot summer's day.
I really hadn't planned on my daughter using the slides, but I lost track of her in the crowd for a couple seconds, and she had run over to get on the slides, and that's when it happened.
Oh, and let's say an extra prayer for those tragic cases that got so burned, they got stuck up there on that slide, roasting in the hot summer like a honey-baked ham. Boredom. Yes, we know that kids and adults still get bored.
I'm so bored. Oh, come on. There's lots of ways to pass the time. Hitch up your pants. Air whittle.
Yet we probably shouldn't be, right? Not when we have so much at our fingertips every second of the day. Yet imagine a world where this wasn't so. At least, not yet. Your friends are busy, or your parents need to take you with them on an errand. It's their car, so they're choosing the music. And you don't have any handheld video games or a phone. So it's either bring a book, some drawing paper, or just look at the trees. Because you're in it for the long haul. Granted, entertainment and excitement are all what we make of them, but today's generation admittedly possesses an embarrassment of riches when it comes to distraction.
Come on, I'm bored. I'm bored. Play with me.
Remembering directions.
Peter, we're lost. Would you please find some place to ask for directions?
We are not lost, and even if we were, you know I can't ask another human being for directions.
Why not?
Because I'm a man.
Modern GPS technology is another wonder that's made getting around the world so much easier and convenient. Sure, maps are still important as well, but what if that's the only option? Remembering directions used to be imperative back in the day.
Man, when I was younger, grandparents used to get on this website. I wonder if it's still around or not, but it's called MapQuest. And you print off all the directions before you leave the house, or you can write them down. It'll tell you how many lefts to make, how many rights, what street. It was like word to word, not just a map, but like word to word directions. Now we got GPS, and I can't go nowhere without a GPS. I ain't gonna lie to you, unless it's some place that I've been familiar with for years, but I can't go nowhere without a GPS, man. I mean, reading the map, I probably could read a map still, but I haven't done it in years, But yeah, learning your directions back then was very imperative because there was no GPS for real. And then when GPS came out, it was very expensive, or it was in a nice car that most people didn't get to own just yet.
Particularly if you didn't have the foresight to write them down prior to taking off on your bike, in a car, or on foot.
Kramer would like to schedule a lunch with you at Monk's Coffee Shop.
Really? When?
10 minutes. Do you need directions?
No, I don't.
Those aforementioned maps could help, sure, but if you don't have one handy and are just going off of memory, then yeah. Let's hope you were paying attention at that last gas station or rest stop. Taking someone's word for it. You made plans to meet up with a friend at noon. You agreed on the time, the place, and the itinerary, so there's nothing to worry about, right?
When the numbers read 315, meet us there. 315. 315.
Some of you are hearing that and thinking, not at all, while others just might be getting anxious at the very thought of what we're about to discuss. What if you get there and your friend isn't? There's no way to text and confirm. You just gotta take them at their word that those plans you made yesterday are still in stone from the last time you spoke. Just for fun, leave your phone at home the next time you make plans, and see how long it takes before you turn around and go get it. Privacy.
A recent report estimates about 1 billion security cameras rolling worldwide, 18% of them here in the United States.
There's definitely a larger discussion to be had concerning the alarmingly small and shrinking windows of true privacy for us as a society. Serious discussions about how being connected 24/7 is both good and bad for our collective mental health. People, especially young people, should be allowed to make mistakes in private without worrying about being filmed or harassed. We
getting less and less privacy these days, man. With everything being recorded, everybody has cameras everywhere, technology advancing. And back then they had cameras too, but they weren't as fast and ready as they are now. Like, people catch so many viral moments now than what they did back in the day. You had to pull out the camcorder, and then the phone. If you had a phone and you tried to record something, it was so grainy and the quality was so trash, man. I want to say it was less than 24p back then, And also, I don't know if y'all heard of Snowden. He was talking about how the government were watching us and stuff, we didn't know the whole time. And if y'all didn't know about Snowden, y'all need to go check Snowden out, thanks to him. We woke up a little bit and found out that our own government has been watching our every single move.
We live in a world where those tumultuous years of youth have become even more stressful for kids living in a world forever online. One without the privacy older generations perhaps take for granted when judging the struggles of what's going on today. So yeah, this list is lighthearted for the most part, but let's not forget each other out there, okay?
Computers that analyze your daily routines and understand what you're doing, what you're carrying, what you're wearing, who you are, what your attributes are.
Cereal box goodies.
Honestly, Dawn, how many bowls of cereal are you planning on eating?
Oh, these aren't for eating. I'm just trying to get the extra out of the way so I could get this.
It used to be the case that with every box of cereal, there was a chance of getting an exciting prize. These were often just small plastic toys, which were of relatively cheap quality, but getting one was so much fun.
Now you can get geared up for adventure with new robot racers from the new movie Robots. One free in specially marked boxes of Kellogg's cereal for a limited time only.
They were random too, so if you wanted a specific one, you'd have to splash out on cereal until you found it.
Man, getting them toys and the cereal was the big thing. And you know, that also played a role in what cereal we would try because, oh, this cereal has this toy in it. Let's get it. You know, and then your mom not gonna buy you no more cereal until you eat up the cereal that you already got. So that got us to try new cereals trying to get these toys. You know what I'm saying? And also reading the back of the cereal box when you eating cereal and stuff. That was like reading a newspaper as a kid. You know what I'm saying? Nowadays, kids eat cereal, they don't even care about looking at the box. They look at the box and see what they want, but they ain't getting no toys. You know what I'm saying? They don't look on the back of the box no more. Times has changed.
Now, you can just order whatever cheap plastic toy you want online, but it doesn't have the same thrill.
A glow monster inside. Put it together. Hold him under the light. Turn off the light.
Filmed in black light.
Frankenstein. The Wolfman. The Mummy. Phantom of the Opera.
In the 21st century, cereal has started marketing itself as a healthy option, so the toys contained are now pretty much non-existent. Dial-up internet. When most of us think of old school internet, there's one specific noise that comes to mind first. Now, we take instant web page loading for granted. Before broadband was common, we had to rely on telephone networks to provide our connection. This was called dial-up, and the sounds it made were impossible to forget.
Welcome.
At the time, it felt like a painful barrier, preventing us from seeing the websites we wanted to load. Now, these noises are loaded with nostalgia. Dial-up also meant your family members couldn't use the phone when you were surfing the web.
Dial-up internet was my first introduction to the internet. And there's so much I can say about it, man. Just being young, it used to flood the mailbox, bro. When I mean flood, I used to stay in an apartment complex with my friends, family, you know, whatever. And it used to flood the mailbox area. Like, you'll see them all over the place because people will throw them away. Not everybody, because they'll give it to you like, you know how you get your regular advertisement for grocery stores and all that stuff. They were sending it like crazy through there like that. And we used to just take them and play with them, you know, like frisbees and throw them around, you know, being kids. And like, but other than that, like they said, like you had to wait, like you had to unplug your phone, plug the same cord that goes into the back of your phone into the back of your computer. And that was giving you internet. You couldn't talk to nobody on the phone. And then if I think someone tried to call you or you tried to call out, it'll knock you off the internet, you know. And the internet was so painfully slow back then. But back then, hey, we had patience because it was something new and we were trying to explore it. It was so many websites I got to get on. My mom showed me, you know, it's like, you know, your eyes open into a whole nother world, man. But let's get back into it.
An alien concept for the kids of today.
It's gonna be like the best year of our lives. Shuji! Get off AOL!
Staying out all night for new releases. Before everything was digitized, if you wanted something badly, you'd have to go into a store as soon as it opened.
You can see plenty of people showed up wearing robes and carrying wands, hoping to be among the first to get their hands on the book.
If you wanted concert tickets, there were two ways you could acquire them. First was simply calling Ticketmaster, and second was going into a kiosk. If you wanted to see a band in high demand, you would have to camp out at the kiosk all night, with no guarantee you would get tickets.
So you sure we have enough for the...
People would do this with tons of other things too, including new books or video games. Now you simply get them online. Even when it's a physical release, Places offer day one delivery anyway, so there's basically no need for inconvenience.
What people will do for a little entertainment system.
Why are you here at midnight?
I'm here for the PlayStation 2. The best entertainment system to hit the world.
Waiting for photos to be developed.
Oh, my camera's full again.
If you told someone from a few decades ago that we'd all have devices in our pockets capable of instantly taking high-definition photos, they'd be stunned. It used to be the case that all cameras had film, which needed to be developed at a store before seeing the final products.
It's been an hour. It's under S. Under S. Oh.
So we had to be far more careful about each and every image we took. This meant taking your camera on holiday was a uniquely exciting experience.
It's perfect.
Now, this is one thing that I did forget about, man, because we take for granted taking pictures because everybody's phones have it, tablets, etc. But having to take your film to go get, developed was a thing. And going on vacations and going on field trips, my mom used to give me disposable cameras because you can buy disposable cameras with film in it. You take your pictures, you go turn your camera in at usually be like a Walgreens or a CVS, or back then they had like a business called, I believe it was called Kodak Films or Kodak something, and they were a big developer of films and stuff. And I feel like taking pictures back then were more fun. You would go turn your pictures in, you'll forget that you sent pictures in, and then you go pick them up and then you go look at them. Oh yeah, I forgot we took this picture and that picture and this picture. Look how this picture came out. Ha ha ha. A bad picture back in the day wasn't so bad, like it is now. And that was back then, I don't know. And then we had the Polaroids too, where you could take a picture and then that mug will come out like a printer and show you what the picture is right then and there. Now that was a crazy jump. I don't know why we not that advanced anymore. Now everything is just digital. I think it would have been still dope if we could still have that capability, which I know we do now. They came back with it. They got the little retro Kodak, but it's not as big though. Let's get back into it.
Not just yet.
Taking it into a store after coming home, then waiting a few days for it to be developed, was a unique rush that will never be common again. Creating a MySpace page. The internet felt a lot simpler when almost everyone surfing the web was friends with MySpace Tom.
Every user creates a profile which explains a little about themselves and their interests, and you can display photos of yourself. I've got my own MySpace and the band has one too.
It was the earliest big social media, long before the metaverse became a thing. Compared to modern social media, it was far more customizable. You could change virtually every aspect, including the backgrounds, the text, and music, and could even select your top friends.
If you want, you can scroll down and look at all the different types of them. Usually they have quite a bit. So take your time, look through them. We're just gonna click on this one.
Man, what? Now you think about it, Facebook and Instagram, all that stuff is way more controlling than the freedom that we had back in the day. MySpace was everything, bro. Now I think about it too, we were like actual coders back in the day, how customizable we got with our pages. Like from when you come to my page, you can hear certain music from certain rappers. I think mine was like, I had like Ice Cube. That was one of my favorite rappers growing up, and I had him on my background and next to his 6'4" or whatever. And he was moving, like the background move. You can customize, like they said, your letters, your top friends. It was way more to it. I just can't remember everything, man. But bro, that was the day, man. That was the day. We thought we was the stuff with it too. We put all your best friends at the top, your top 10, got all your best homies and stuff. You know what I'm saying? I think that probably actually causes problems these days too. Having the top 10, and you're like, dang, I can't be in your top 10. But nah.
Now, social media profiles all virtually look the same, differing in posts and profile pictures alone. It wasn't only MySpace that did it. YouTube profiles used to also be way more customizable. This trend is unfortunately long gone, so if you want a truly personalized online profile, you'll have to make a website.
Hank, I'm just about done reconfiguring the Strickland page.
Hey, that's my cell sheet. But I don't know if that needs to be flashing.
Phone booths and collect calls. So phone booths still exist, but now they're only really associated with illicit individuals trying to keep a low profile.
I'm still out here, still getting away with it. Feds couldn't find their own ass with both hands and a proctologist.
You shouldn't be calling me.
By 2016, fewer than 100,000 remained in America, and that figure has likely gone down a lot. It used to be we had to remember the phone numbers of all our friends and family if we wanted to call them on the go.
Hello? Hello, baby. Clarence? You got it. Clarence, it's great to hear from you, man. What's going on?
Now, we all have mobile phones, making phone booths completely redundant. People barely even call anymore as well, with texts being way more common. If you do venture inside a phone booth today, be prepared. You don't know what you may find inside.
When somebody phones 999, the ambulance service will be able to say there is a defibrillator, it's located at the phone box on the corner of X and Y roads, and if the cabinet is locked, they'll give an access code.
Handwritten letters to pen pals. Something like handwritten letters will always exist.
Do you get the noblets in America? Well, my favorite noblet is vanity noblet.
They're too simple a creation to just vanish. However, they're far less common now than they used to be. It was once a regular occurrence for two children to become pen pals. Even if you saw each other a lot, sending each other handwritten letters was a uniquely charming experience.
Dear Susie, you have a superb voice. You are my favorite animal in the program by far. Please find enclosed.
Dear Sam, thank you very much. I got replaced as the...
Yeah, I never really did the pen pal thing a lot that I can remember. Only time I can remember doing it was probably in school, and I believe we wrote someone in France or something like that. Everybody in the classroom had a pen pal from another country in another class. I don't know how they set that up, but...
Raven because I yelled at Mrs. Lynn.
With the internet making us more connected than ever, there's little incentive for kids to be pen pals anymore. Why bother taking the time to handwrite a letter, then pay for a stamp, wait a few days for postage, and wait even more time for a reply when a text is instant and virtually free?
Ooh, a letter from my old pen pal. Someday I'll write you back, Osama.
Video rental stores.
Imagine the perfect video store. It would have a great selection, right? Right, over 10,000 videos.
Chains like Blockbuster used to be a staple of many people's lives. Back before the internet's rise, the only way to watch a movie or a show would be to catch it on TV or buy a physical copy. Or even better, simply rent it.
A musical? A mystery? A cartoon, Cindy?
May I suggest a video, Cindy? Can you believe all the attention you get with this car? Excuse me, do you have Cape Fear?
Here, take ours.
Thanks. Is this a great card or what?
Video stores were a blast to visit. Kids could spend hours in these shops, browsing VHS tapes or DVDs, looking for a fun flick for their movie night. You could also rent...
Yep. I miss it, man. My family was a big movie family, man, and every weekend we would go to Blockbuster or Hollywood Videos or one of them little hole-in-the-wall movie rental places, and we'll get what's new and what came out or what we ain't never seen before. And also, they had games. They had games in there, bro, that you can rent. So we just rent them for the weekend. They turn that in Sunday, and go back to regular life Monday, and then do it all again on the weekend, and then you get you a little membership too. That way you can, we can watch whatever, however. But you always got to remember to bring your stuff back or you get hit with them fees. But let's get back into it.
Rent video games from them, something which would be entirely alien to the kids of today.
Hey, Sarah.
Whoa, Ozzy, you reek.
You know I reek. I've been playing so many games with my Games Freedom Pass, I have had 0 time to shower.
There was even a brief period where you could rent DVDs online and have them posted to your door, which is what Netflix originally did. Phoning friends on a house phone. If you're too young to remember when phone booths were useful, you may instead remember when house phones were essential.
Do you still want to do something tonight?
Growing up before smartphones meant most kids were unlikely to have their own mobile. So if you wanted to talk to your friends after school, this was the way to do it.
Let's go out.
Okay, hold on. I'm on the other line with Gretchen.
Don't invite Gretchen. She's driving me nuts.
Hold on.
Okay, hurry up.
It's Regina. She wants to hang out with me tonight, but she told me not to tell you. Do not hang out with her. Why?
Oh, you don't want me to tell you.
Oh, you can tell me. Hold on. Oh my god, she's so annoying.
That is, unless you simply walked over to their house and asked if they wanted to come play, which might be considered weird in today's world. Sometimes, a service will still ask for your home phone number and a separate mobile, but in recent years, these two numbers are often the same.
As recently as last week, phone service providers have made moves to stop servicing traditional landlines.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. Saturday morning cartoons and catching TV shows. It used to be that if you wanted to watch a TV show, you had to wait until its exact time slot. For many kids, this meant catching cartoons on a Saturday morning was the peak of the weekend. Now you can watch your favorite cartoons whenever, often without commercial breaks. As a result, the classic Saturday morning cartoon experience basically doesn't exist anymore.
You know this wascally
Man, y'all don't even know, man. Saturday morning cartoons was everything to me, man. I was a big cartoon watching kid. That means you had to get up early in the morning to catch the first episode, because every weekend they'll continue the episode that you watched last weekend. And then you would have missed it, man. Look, you had to go talk to your friends. What they do? What happened? After a while, I was able to record the shows that I missed on VHS. If you had a VHS player that recorded, TV shows, that's a whole nother thing. I don't know if they're gonna talk about it on the list, but that's a whole nother thing right there. But man, y'all don't even know, man. I miss them days. I still be trying to go and find and buy all my little childhood cartoons so I can watch them again, man. But they starting to come back on Tubi. You can go check out my video that I just dropped too. Tubi's bringing them back.
But look who's coming to ABC Saturday mornings. He's the kid you already love, and he's here in all new episodes of Doug. Cool!
Similarly, the excitement of catching a new episode of a series everybody's watching, then going into school the next day to chat about it, is not the same. On the bright side, at least you don't have to worry about missing a new episode because of being busy when it airs.
Rocco, it's starting. Our favorite show. Coming.
Appreciate y'all for tuning in, as always. You know what I'm saying? And I know this was a long video, and if y'all made it all the way to the end, go ahead and give me a muscle emoji down in the chat to let me know y'all stay with me all the way to the end. Until next time, y'all, I'm out.